Hello, welcome to a Talking About reaction to the Centenary trailer, which went out last night. So, what do we think, guys? They think nothing. They think nothing at all. All three of them are just staring at me.
Oh, we were all being so polite. I'll dive in. I thought it was a very exciting 30-second trailer. But I think on reflection, if our recent review of season 20 has taught us anything, it's bringing back some previous cast members doesn't always make it spectacular, but fingers crossed for the finale.
I mean, I am, gotta be honest, I am quite excited. And there were a couple of nice little visuals in there that appealed. I think, unfortunately for me, I'm a bit like James on this. I think season 20 has taught us one or two things, but I am a little bit concerned because this is at the pen still of Chris Chibnall, who I think it's fair to say, I've said a few times, the scripting of this modern version of Doctor Who, I've not really enjoyed a great deal whilst he's been in charge. So it's great having all these lovely Cybermen and Daleks and all these various past companions back, but how good is the script going to be?
It's good to see people back, like Ace and Tegan, but the thing is, are they going to do them justice? And is it a case of throwing everything with the kitchen sink in at the screen and see if it's going to stick? I don't know. Let's wait and see.
Imagine if the Black Guardians got them on board to kill off the Doctor. It's been like a long game the whole time. Tegan was like in on it with the Black Guardian and she was just waiting for a chance, didn't quite get it. And she's like, 40 years on, I'm coming for you, Doctor Who.
You just want another excuse to get the prop out, don't you?
I do. It's not here at the moment, but I'll whop it out if they do. I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because when Chibnall took over, and I'm not just going to be a Chibnall hater for the sake of a Chibnall hater, he said at the start, I'm getting rid of older. I don't want any old elements. This is it. This Doctor Who moves forward. I don't want this. I'm not having this. And then little by little, it's been like, let's have the Daleks, let's have the Cybermen, to the point now where he's like, nobody's saying anything nice about it. Well, I mean, there are people. But most people are saying it's awful. And to sort of appease that in some ways, it feels like he's going, Daleks, Sea Devils, look, the Sea Devils look like they used to look. Isn't that great, everyone? And it's like, and Ace and Tegan and Daleks, it's like, come on, everyone, like me. I'm giving you what you want.
I mean, there is literally... Oh, sorry. Go on, Jason. I was going to say, there's literally a second shot of Ace hitting a Dalek with a baseball bat in the trailer. It's and this is my nervousness, is like, you've got the Jodie finale, which should be a big send-off to Jodie, and you're packing it full of all these returning characters. And it's kind of like, well, we don't really care too much about Jodie's final episode. Let's just put in as much as we can, which is, as we know, not always the best thing.
And the danger here, of course, is that we all got super hyped about the Sea Devils, the return of the Sea Devils. The trailer obviously uses some of the best elements of the episode. We know this one's in the can. We know they've already filmed it. So, and I'm sure there are more surprises to come. But this is supposed to be the Doctor's finale. I agree with you, James. And whilst it's a Centenary special and it's great to bring back, previous and past at times, the Doctor should be front and center in the story. My worry here is we struggle to get the Doctor front and center in a standard Chris Chibnall story. If you surround Jodie with all of this extra characterizations and sort of monsters and what have you, what kind of a plot are we going to end up with?
I'm slightly worried that we might get 90 minutes of Tegan wanting to go home. It might be the first thing she does when they turn up to do whatever they've got to do. She's like, and when am I going home? You're like, oh no, no time has passed. It is. I think it's nice to have Sophie. I absolutely wholeheartedly adore Sophie, and I think she's been so beautiful to the fans for the whole time. Even before she was on screen, she was at the convention and she was there, and she's been such a strong figure and a great advocate of the show. I think it's beautiful that she's got this on-screen sort of return, because she's done audios, other dimensions in time. But she's such a strong supporter of fandom, fans, and everything to do with it. I think it's beautiful that she's part of this and that it's everyone's excited about Ace coming back. On the flip side of that, I also then go back to Flux, which we've only just got over, where Kate Lethbridge-Stewart came back for no bloody reason whatsoever for like 2 scenes, and it was like, why did you bother other than having her there? And there are lots of other things like Vinder's back and Sasha's back doing his manic acting, and it's kind of like there's a lot of people fighting for a lot of airtime, and it is twofold. It's like Jason said, it's the Doctor's goodbye, and there's going to be a lot of other people. It'd be like if at the end of the 5 Doctors, Peter had lay on the floor and regenerated into Colin. There would have been a case of, oh, all right, wasn't much focus on Mr. Davison then, was it? And that's the slight fear that could be the case here.
I think it's good that Sophie's getting a chance to come back, because I remember with the Sarah Jane Adventures, when unfortunately it was curtailed early because of Liz's illness, there were hints that we were going to have Ace back, and it's like, oh wow, that would have been brilliant. So now I think hopefully we're going to get a really good shot of that in this episode. But as everyone else has already said, is it going to be too much, and is it going to take off the focus of Jodie's final episode and the regeneration and so forth? It's going to be a tricky one to handle, I think.
And if this is what they're putting out now, 6 months ahead, what else is there? Because Chibnall's one for keeping his cards close to his chest as well. So to put that in the trailer makes me wonder what else he's got lined up and what else we don't know. And again, that's my concern, is like, oh yeah, we've got not just these two, but we've got a whole galaxy of people that are returning. And as you've said already, the writing unfortunately doesn't always match up to the promise. And so whilst it's great, and I've seen nothing but this picture basically, or the one with the machine guns, all over social media, absolute dream to a lot of people. My concern is what else is there and how it's going to be handled.
All I'm going to say is that it's all very well the Master, the Daleks, Ace, Tegan, but if we don't get Jackie Corkill back for this episode, I'm going to storm the BBC. I'm not happy. 2 scenes for Jackie Corkill in the Flux. No, she's coming back. Give her a machine gun. She'll love it.
Oh, she'd be all over that, without doubt. I mean, I think there are some elements to really look forward to here. I think, again, I don't want to come across too negative. I think the trailer was great, played in well. Everybody, in some respects, a lot of people were just waiting for the trailer. We were sort of wishing the episode away, I think, on Sea Devils to get to this trailer. And it promises, as I said, it does promise a lot. So, fingers crossed, I'll go in again with my usual low expectations, come out with hopefully some better realization than I think I'm going in with, and hope for the best. I mean, that's all you can do, I suppose. But we're at the start of the publicity drive here, and I've seen much more publicity for this trailer right across the media, actually. So, fingers crossed, this will get a bit of a push now, and we will get a fairly good audience for this when it does air. Although,
to be brutally frank, I don't know how much of a general viewing public, who are obviously much more engaged last night with Antiques Roadshow and Britain's Got Talent, are going to be like, whoa, Ace and Tegan are back. Because I don't know whether that's it's not quite like for the TV audience now. If they said David Tennant was back next week, you'd be like, oh yeah, I remember that from 5 years ago when I used to love it. For the fans, the hardcore fans, it's a beautiful thing, and it's a magical thing. But I don't know to what extent that is paying to a very set audience that will react and love that. But to a general audience who might remember Chris Eccleston and Billy or David and Freema or something, whether that's not quite, do you know what I mean? Is it not quite a thing? Is it just necessarily something that's exciting the fan base? Has Mr. Chibnall now got to the point where he is just basically teasing the fan base and playing for them?
Yeah, this is what happened beforehand with a lot of Moffat stuff, where it got so complicated that the general public would then tune out because they wouldn't understand anything. And especially as fans, if you can't understand anything, then how on earth is the general public going to? And they're just going to switch off. So you have to be careful not to alienate them too much by putting a lot of elements back. This is where the TV movie as well had problems, where they threw a lot of all that stuff in there, and then people thought, I don't know what this is. How am I supposed to remember things from years ago, or even understand some of these concepts? So that's why it worked better with Eccleston rebooting it, because it just did very, very basic elements and introduced a thing almost from scratch. And so general viewers who'd never seen the show before could tune in and go, what's this about? And they wouldn't be completely thrown by a load of, stuff thrown at them saying, oh, you have to know this, 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 and this. So, yeah.
But it does feel a little bit like the end of Tom's era, when they tried to get Sarah Jane back, they tried to get Leela back, for the sort of finale. And it's like, oh, we've actually managed to do it. We've managed to get some old companions back this time. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they fit in with the context of the rest of the story.
Well, I think it is fair to say that we're all fairly excited about it.
Yeah, I think that's a good summary. I think we're fairly excited, just a little bit hesitant as to how the actual final realization will play out.
Ben, go on, Ben. Say something. The KO, it's not going to go back to you. It's not going to go back to you.
Yes, I'm hopeful.
Right, so fingers crossed. We shall find out in time, I'm sure. And just